And welcome back to Defluence. I'm Uncle Bonehead, and with me, as usual, is.
Allen Taylor, aka Cryptocracy. Yo ho ho.
So, how's your week been?
Hey, pretty good. Pretty doggone good.
Cool. Out gallivanting around the world, are you?
Yep, I'm in Pennsylvania now. We were in Texas last week and we hopped on the road and spent a few days between Texas and Pennsylvania as we took our time hitting a few small towns and doing historical tours and that kind of thing. You can see those on my YouTube channel. My wife and I have a YouTube channel where we do historic walking tours. Um, I'll I'll give you the link for that for the show notes. And
Oh, yeah.
then, now we're in Pennsylvania hanging out with family.
That's cool. I can't wait to be your age.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, to be able to do that, yeah, that's got to be fun. But what are we going to talk about today? I think you said something about a Ben coin or something.
Yeah. Um, Ben Armstrong, Bit Boy, has this new launch called Ben, where it's a personal uh, coin for people whose name is Ben. All right,
Okay.
so yeah, here it is. Tokens, a token. It's a Ben DAO, DAO token for dudes named Ben. So I'm
Wow.
thinking, um, is everybody in the world now going to create a token and a DAO for their name so they can rally all the people with their name together? Imagine all the
That's
Allen Taylors out there, and there's thousands. I mean, they're all over the place. There's probably 100 just in Dallas, Texas. Where I'm from.
that could
Um,
that could be fun.
would would it fly is the thing. I mean, how long would that last? It'd be a novelty, I think, for sure, for a short time. But as a business model, I can't see it lasting very long.
No, no, I mean me neither. I mean, what coin did he launch this on, or what token?
Let me see. It's the token is Ben. It's on Uniswap. I don't know where he minted. Okay. Contract address is alongside the chart of wrapped ether, but I'm not sure what blockchain he launched it on.
Well, my point is my question is it's depending on which one he did it on. It probably costed him a lot to do this, right?
Maybe it depends. I don't know what his costs are. I mean, it doesn't really cost much to really launch a token. Unless you do it on Ethereum, then maybe it costs you a pretty penny.
Because aren't like Bitcoin and Ethereum noted for their gas fees or whatever the transaction
Well,
fees are called?
yeah, Ethereum is until recently, Bitcoin's been pretty reasonable.
Wow,
Uh,
that's insane. Why would you-
yeah.
well,
So Ben evidently is ranked number 2,624 of cryptocurrencies tracked by Coin Market Cap.
oh, it's actually backed by somebody already.
Well, it's listed on Coin Market Cap.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
So yeah, okay, it's on the Ethereum platform. So yeah, if you're trading Ben, yeah, you could pay some hefty gas fees, especially right now. Ethereum gas fees are through the roof. They're very high. But they've been high for the last 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
So yeah, but I can't see this going for too long. If you look at the coin market cap graph, I see upward trajectory. Well, that's for a day. 7 days upward trajectory. 1 month upward trajectory. 1 year upward trajectory. But it just launched not too long ago, so it's not
So
that big a deal.
this was something he just wanted to do, or is he
I don't know. What
like a gimmick
who
type
knows what
thing?
goes through BitBoy's head?
It's true. Well, to be in all fairness and honesty, on my other podcast, Loud and Proud, we were actually discussing starting a token, a layer two token on Hive called Schlong. And that was just because we wanted to hear people reading it in news reports that, Schlong was up or Schlong was down, or, it was that kind of thing. It was a joke thing. But
Right?
I didn't know that people actually did tokens as a joke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's been going on for a long time. Yeah, evidently Ben Armstrong is not the one that launched the token. It was done by someone else by the name of Ben.eth, holder of the Ben.eth domain name.
Oh.
It's an ENS domain name. But Armstrong is evidently endorsing it, so
Well, I can see where
interesting.
it would be good for both of them if they can get
Yeah, I
it
mean, if all the
good.
Bens in the world want to rally around uh, a shitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain, I'm not going to stand in their way.
Yeah, true.
So,
That is
anyways,
is kind of cool.
yeah, I
But
guess I guess it's kind of a novelty. I would call it a novelty, and if that's your thing, then okay, no big deal. Um, but the other news of the day is everybody's talking about this. The Bitcoin network got congested, and gas fees went up because of a spike in ordinals activity. Ordinals are the Bitcoin NFTs that launched
okay,
just a few weeks ago.
so NFTs are now causing congestion on the Bitcoin
Yeah, on
network.
the Bitcoin network. And if you remember, if you know your history, this happened on the Ethereum blockchain when CryptoKitties became popular in 2017, I believe. Yeah, like December 2017. So when CryptoKitties launched, it caused a huge stir on Ethereum, congested the network, and gas fees went through the roof.
So that's what
And
happened with Ethereum's gas fees.
yeah, and they've been high ever since. NFTs just took off like a rocket and drove gas fees up, and that's why uh, Ethereum. Now you have all these layer one Ethereum alternatives. Solana and
Right.
Cardano and several others, and layer two solutions like Arbitrum and Optimism, and Polygon, and you have all of these alternatives because of that spike, that NFT craze that drove gas fees higher. And so I'm wondering, how long is it going to be before we see that happen with Bitcoin? Bitcoin's already had several forks. It's had multiple forks. Um, but how long is it going to be now before it we see more, like layer two solutions, which we don't really see. They've got Lightning Network, but that's about it. Are we going to see a major change in the Bitcoin protocol
That's
as a
going to
result?
be interesting because that's pretty much everybody follows Bitcoin as far as quote unquote the industry goes.
Oh yeah,
So,
Bitcoin is the undisputable leader, but you know what causes these network congestions is uh, not just a spike in activity, but a spike in a specific type of activity. So, like for instance, it doesn't cost a whole lot of bandwidth to send a Bitcoin to your friend. So if I buy something from you and I pay you in Bitcoin, that's a low volume activity. That doesn't take up a whole lot of bandwidth. And if you have a million other people doing it at the same time, it doesn't it doesn't cause congestion because Bitcoin, a simple financial transaction, is really a low bandwidth activity. But when you have these inscriptions, which are images, and we all know if you've been on the web very long, images take up a whole lot more bandwidth
oh yeah.
than simple text. And if you're doing music and videos and that kind of thing, even more. So you have a million people doing that all at the same time. Now you have increased bandwidth usage, and it's congesting the network.
So the gas fees, they think the higher gas fees are here to stay, or they think they'll settle down?
Well, I think they'll fluctuate with whatever the activity of the ordinals are. So if if fewer people take an interest in the Bitcoin NFTs, then I think gas fees will come down. If more people take an interest, then gas fees will go up. So right now, there are really only a few 100,000 people are are trading these ordinals. So it's not a massive number of people. But what happens if that doubles or triples?
Right.
Then Bitcoin gas fees could get outrageous.
Now these ordinals, what kind of NFTs are they? Are they mostly like art, or are they all kinds of digital goods?
Yeah, it's probably a mix. I haven't delved too deeply into that because I wasn't all that interested really in them. But
Understandable.
you know, the Bitcoin network was started to be a cash alternative. That was its whole point. So Bitcoin maxis are pretty upset about ordinals coming in and really kind of being the main show for a few weeks. And if they really take off like they did on Ethereum, one time everybody was all excited about Ethereum with smart contracts, build on top of it, build your dApps. That was the big thing. Then NFTs kind of came over and took over the narrative. And then Ethereum became the NFT platform. It's still good for smart contracts and dApps and things like that, but NFTs kind of took over. If that happens on Bitcoin, I don't know how that's going to play out long term. The Bitcoin maxis would likely have to go and they'll have to fork into their own Bitcoin and into their own network. If all they want to do is send and receive Bitcoin back and forth to each other, they'll likely have to fork, or they'll have to just rely heavily on the Lightning Network. Um, so, anyways, it's an interesting time.
Yeah, interesting. It's I don't know. If it seems to me, they would want to do something where the NFTs are separate, and Bitcoin itself just be the currency that you buy the NFTs with. But I don't know how that works. So I'm not, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is, Bitcoin is decentralized, so there's not one person or a group of people who can make that decision for everybody. Anyone can get on the network and do whatever they want. Up until these NFTs, pretty much all you did was you traded Bitcoin,
yeah,
right? You know, um, Bitcoin isn't a network that you build on top of. You don't build dApps. It doesn't have smart contract capability, although there are people working on that. That's not the purpose for Bitcoin. The whole network's all about digital cash, digital money. That's the whole point.
Right.
Um, but if you're a maximalist and you think, well, that should be the purpose for Bitcoin, and it's not, something else takes over, then you're gonna be pretty peeved.
Yeah, think.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens long term. I think there's going to be a huge discussion in the Bitcoin community among Bitcoin maximalists and the ordinals crowd about where they want this network to go. And you can't stop a moving train. So if ordinals takes off, it takes off, and you're not going to stop it. That's what we've been saying about Bitcoin all these years, right?
Right.
That's what we've been saying about cryptocurrencies. In the course of a decade, we went from one digital coin, Bitcoin, to 20,000. So you're not going to stop a moving train. So if
That's
people on the Bitcoin network want ordinals, and they're trading ordinals, and they're buying and selling and minting, then it's going to be really hard to stop that.
yeah. Back to the Ben thing.
Yeah,
My big fear of that is that they'll start doing it, not them, but people in general, just because people are weird. They'll start, you mentioned in our on our chat about the Taylor Swift DAO.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can so see some of these big celebrities doing that, and
yeah.
then yeah,
Starting their own coins. Now, some of them already have their own tokens, which is fine. But how about if you if they start a DAO, you know, tokenizing an asset and launching a personal token or a creator token or something of that nature is one thing, but turning it into a decentralized autonomous organization. So if you're a celebrity, say Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, Metallica, whatever, and you turn your celebrity status into a DAO, what um, how would that play out? Well, yeah. So you're a token, you own a token, you're in the Taylor Swift DAO, and you get voting rights now. So she puts out a proposal. I want to do a concert in Timbuktu on Christmas Day. Should I do it? Now you go and vote, yes or no, right?
right. But
I
this
mean, could you
that
see that happening?
yeah, yes and no. I could. The I could see it do something like that, replacing things like Patreon or record labels.
It could happen.
I could see that. But then the problem with that is, for a creator at least, they are tied into that 24/7 for the rest of their life. They won't be
Yeah,
able
or until
they won't
their
be
personal economy crashes.
exactly. Yes.
One danger of these coins is if you get a speculator who comes in and buys up a large portion of your token and sits on them until, say, it hits a peak uh, of popularity and value, and things are high, and then they sell off all of a sudden, that could crash your personal token economy.
Hmm.
Uh, and as we know, one whale dumps a lot of tokens on the market all at once. that could lead to a lot of other people dumping too, and it could crash your personal economy. We have seen creator tokens fall flat for that kind of thing, and the whole economy crashes, and they don't recover usually.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a big danger.
Or you got the Justice Sun effect, where somebody comes in and wants to control everything.
Yeah, you get a 51% attack. Somebody buys up, the majority of the tokens, and now they hold a string over your head, right? So they're holding your strings, and they're voting in your DAO, basically dictating to you how you're running your business.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another danger. Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like what Taylor Swift went through with her rights to her music? I
I don't
think
pay much attention to Taylor
I
Swift.
I
I
I
don't know.
I don't either. I just pay attention to the music news, and she's got some new thing coming out that she started where she's re-recording all of her old songs and re-releasing them on her own control. And
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I would,
because I don't remember if it was,
I'd encourage that.
I don't remember if it was a record label or her somebody that she knew, family friend or something, basically owned all of her copyrights and
Yeah.
wouldn't
Oh,
let her wouldn't
oh,
let her get what she deserved out of it, and or at least what she felt she deserved.
yeah. So if she
So
bought back all the rights, or somehow acquired her
yes,
rights back,
yeah,
then she can do whatever she wants with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's different kinds of copyrights with music. There's the performer, the writer, and the
Yeah.
recording artist and all that crap. And she basically redoing all of her songs that she wrote and on her own stuff and going around the old label.
Yeah. Good. Cool. I'm all for it.
Oh yeah,
Artists of all stripe, I'm a big proponent of them owning and controlling their own copyright, IP, and doing what they want with it to theirs.
that's right.
We've come a long way. Back in the old days, a long time ago, music artists had virtually no rights. Actors and actresses, the production company, the studio, or whatever, they owned the music, the copyright, the IP, and they paid actors and actresses and music artists a pittance. A lot of them couldn't
Mm-hmm.
even make a living on what they were recording, um, until like what was it? United Artists came along and fought for artist rights, and then they got better deals. But back in the early days of movie theater, movie production, you didn't see actors and actresses making $1 million a movie.
Nope.
Yeah, they were making a pittance, most of them. Even the biggest stars, they weren't getting rich. They might have made a living, but they weren't getting wealthy. Now, now you see stars getting wealthy, um, but so are the movie makers and the production companies and all of that. In the future, 21st century, with Web3, you're going to see a lot of artists rise to popularity, getting wealthy, writing their own tickets without production companies and movie studios. They'll do it through DAOs, and they'll do it on their own as independent artists. A lot of them will do that.
Yep. It will.
That's where we're moving.
It's what we need.
Yeah. So
So
I'm happy to be in this particular period in our epoch, in this particular era of creativity. I think things are
absolutely
getting better for artists all around.
the Ben token.
The Ben token coming to you next. The bonehead token.
Yeah. No. Not gonna happen.
No, we're not gonna have the bonehead token.
No. No. I'll give out a bonehead award, but I won't give out a bonehead token.
Oh, the bonehead award. I like it. That's all right. Yeah, I'd like to see that. The bonehead award.
One of these days we'll start a new segment. Bonehead segment of the week.
Do it. Do it. Yeah, I think that'd be great. You know, like 3 or 4 minutes of just talking about the bonehead of the week. Here's the bonehead of the week.
Absolutely.
So,
Well,
anyways, the Ben token, the Bitcoin thing, the drama, it's all rising to the top.
That's right. Little tease, possibly next week or the week after. Not sure which one it'll happen, but Nathan and probably Chris Rice from DBuzz will be coming back on. They've got a proposal out for DBuzz to open source.
Yeah.
It's plus they're supposed to be releasing a new facelift to DBuzz. So
yeah.
The next day
It looks like a pretty good proposal, so I'm anxious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have them back on.
Absolutely.
So, anything else we need to talk about today, muchacha?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think we can cut it short today.
Yeah, we said we were only going to do 15 minutes last week. We ended up with 45.
Yeah. So, hey, you get carried away. You get carried away.
Yep. Ratchet jaws. Cool. Well, you guys can find us online at defluence.online. Follow us on Hive at defluencecast. Follow Allen over at Paragraph. What is it? Paragraph.xyz at tailored content.
Yep. There you go.
And I'll throw the link for the YouTube channel in the show notes, which I do watch time to time.
Yeah. I've started posting about it on Paragraph, on my Paragraph letter as well, once a week in the travel log channel. I'll do a little bit of a write-up on our journeys and post one of our videos.
That's cool. I like watching the small town tours. Those are pretty cool.
Well, we like doing them. They're a lot of fun.
You know you do a lot of research on the towns that you guys go to, because there was one of them you guys was going through and you're reading off about when the building was built and how many occupants it's had in the last 150 years. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, we dig up some stuff. We try to dig up interesting stuff as much as we can. Sometimes all we got is like notes on the architecture and stuff like that, which can be interesting. But I like the really gritty historical details. Those are fun.
That stuff's cool. I love listening to that kind of stuff. So you guys can email us at podcast@defluence.online and find us wherever free podcasts are sold. Watch us on Cast Garden, which chances are you are, because that's the player that gets posted on defluence.online.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool. We'll catch you guys again. Be good, be safe, and never ever stick your finger where you wouldn't stick your face.